She lived life the way she wanted to and made her dreams come true.
Hello, beautiful being. I'm Trini, and welcome to In Her Dreams. I'm so excited to do this Q&A video. I was really pleased and grateful to receive the questions that I got either in the comments to the Q&A notification video or some of you emailed me. So thank you so much. I got the perfect number, which is 7, because I can handle that in one video. I've never done this before, but I think 7 is a good number to start with. So thank y'all so much. I did want to mention that in the video itself for the Q&A, I included the correct email address, which is inherdreams11@gmail.com. But unfortunately, when I put in the comments, the email address was incorrect. So that's inherdreams@gmail. If you did send in an email, a question, hoping to get it to me for the Q&A to inherdreams, then please resend it. But you can just go into your sent folder and forward that same message to inherdreams11@gmail.com. So I do apologize for that. But if you send it to me, I will answer your question. Okay, so I just wanted to make that clear because I didn't want you to think I was ignoring you. What I'm going to do is I'll start off with the 3 very specific questions that I received. And then I will go into the 4 like sort of general, like, well, just whatever spirit has. And I think I counted the number right. I've got my laptop here so that I don't miss anything, okay? Also, if you'd like to show your gratitude for this video, if you want to book a service with me, you can receive it at 10% off for the next week, okay, with the promo code Q&A10, okay? So that's for any service. I offer healing sessions, tarot readings, and also spiritual consultations. So you can book any of those services with me at 10% off for the next week. Also, you can like this video, you can share it with a loved one, somebody that you think might need to hear a message that I've created and posted on this channel. You can also subscribe to my ASMR channel. And all I do over there is help you to relax and put you to sleep. So it's a win-win, okay? So that's In Her Dreams ASMR. And also donations are appreciated, okay? So however you would like to show your gratitude, I appreciate that so very much, okay? All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. All right, so the first question that I'm answering is from Tanya. Thank you for your question, Tanya, for leaving your comment. She says, how do you protect yourself from family members that continue to do witchcraft and black magic and voodoo on you constantly? All right, so Tanya, the first thing is that this is family. So with that said, I don't want you to be afraid of creating distance between you and problematic family members. That's something that, especially in a lot of cultural groups, I know as a Black American, I was constantly told, you know, blood is thicker than water. Be a ride or die for your family. Always be there. Family over everything, you know. And so that meant that as I grew older and I started to mature and see some of these negative patterns that had formed between me and these family members that I was supposed to be so loyal to, it was like I needed to give myself permission to distance myself from them. So I want you to give yourself freedom to create distance between you and your family members. Don't feel like you have to be aware of the fact that they're doing these very ugly things and sending negative energy your way, and you also have to be texting them and going to brunch with them and doing this and going to the family cookouts or whatever it is, however it is that your family bonds. So make sure that you allow yourself the freedom to step away. It's okay. It doesn't always have to be family over everything. You have to take people for how they treat you. You can't just say, oh, we're blood, so I'm going to put up with everything you do. Absolutely not. So if you need to block someone, block them. If you need to skip the family reunion, skip the family reunion. That's the first thing, is to create some physical distance between you and these people. The second thing is the first line of defense that I would recommend you taking, and this is for anybody who needs protection is going to your ancestors. And this is interesting because these are family members. So I'm assuming that you share ancestors, right? Because you're family. So the ties are there, but you can use them to your benefit. Your ancestors want healing. Okay, that's what the ancestors want. They want healing. So by you honoring them, they're going to recognize in you that you want to heal. So who looks better? The family member who's throwing negative energy on people, or the family member who wants to heal and connect with the ancestors and grow? Okay? So they are going to side with whoever is promoting harmony and balance and peace and healing. So I suggest that you start there with connecting with your ancestors. Do something every day to connect with them. It could be for a minute. It doesn't have to be long. Just you can get quiet and tell them hello and start talking to them, or just listen to them. Because they will start to talk to you if you haven't already started doing that, okay? So having a very close relationship with your ancestors is extremely important there. And also tapping into rituals, okay? Creating rituals. So that's extremely important. When you wake up in the morning, you can invoke protection over yourself. Call upon your ancestors. You can honor them first and then invoke their protective power, and then call upon your spirit allies, whether it's your guardian angel or Archangel Michael or any energy that you've been working with. If you have a connection, a bond with that entity, you will be able to ask them for their protection, and they will protect you, even if it's not an energy that's typically known for protection. Like, for example, Oshun. The very first energies I ever worked with were Yemaya, Oshun, and Pombajita. So even though Oshun isn't necessarily known for her, fiery protection and all of that, she does have protective energy. People don't think of Oshun typically when they want protection, but I already had a bond with her, so she was willing to protect me. And believe me, as sweet as she is, she can definitely do whatever needs to be done in order to protect those that she loves. So you can tap into that energy of whatever deities or spirits you've been working with. And then also know that your power is greater than whatever black magic is being thrown at you, because that's where they really get you with dark magic. It's really through your mind and through fear. So as soon as something bad happens, you're like, oh, they got me, No, it's just that's an opportunity to trust that you are still protected, even though something went left, So know that your power is greater than anything that they can throw at you. Also, when you're doing these rituals, so I recommend doing something daily where you're like lighting a tea light candle, honoring your ancestors, invoking their protection, invoking the protection of whatever energies you're working with. And then I create ritual blends. So this is really amazing. This is my Can't Touch This oil. And I also have the bath salts, which this is clear connection for psychic divination. But it looks just like that, okay? It's very similar. But the herbs that are in these ritual blends will give you that boost that you need from the elements, from the earth element. And also there's healing energy that's been infused in there, protective energy that's been infused in there. And then you receive also a card with an affirmation on there that you can say. And you can just, like, after you get out the shower, you can dab some of the oil on you, rub it on, and then say that affirmation. And then that's going to help with that protective barrier. because it's all about protecting your mind, protecting your confidence in yourself and in your power, and also keeping your aura very, very strong, okay? And then doing that every day is going to make such a huge difference. But then you also want to go a step further. So every week, once or twice a week, you'll want to take a spiritual bath. And that's why I have my Can't Touch This ritual blend. Like I said, this is the Clear Connection, but it looks very similar to that. And put a little bit of that in your bath, say your affirmation, and then get in there and just soak and visualize this protective barrier that's surrounding you. And the key is, in doing this, what you're doing is you're building up your aura. You're making it strong so that nothing can penetrate that protective barrier, okay? And then after that, if you still notice that there's some craziness that's getting through that shouldn't be getting through, there are further steps that you can take. I walk both the right hand path and the left hand path. I walk the right hand path as long as I can, because that's what I love to do. But when I need to, I go on over to that left hand path, and it's very powerful, okay? And that's why it's there for when we need to use it. But I don't share those strategies at this point in time via my videos. That's something that I talk about in my consultations. So if you'd like to book a consultation with me, feel free to. But I feel like just the things that I've discussed, and making sure that you are doing something every single day to acknowledge your power and the protection that you are invoking around you, that is going to make a huge difference. And also creating that space between you and your family members, because once we have to think about this level of like guarding ourselves against their energy, it's no longer about family. It doesn't feel like family anymore at that point, because they're not acting like it. So you really do have to act accordingly, and just keep your focus on what you're doing. Never focus on their tactics. Always bring your focus back to the power that you have through these rituals, through crystals. I wanted to mention this as well. This is a black kyanite. This is one of the most protective crystals I have ever held in my hands. And it's not this particular crystal. This one is, I do love this one, but it's black kyanite, period. It usually comes in sort of like a broom shape, or as you can see, this one has a very sharp point on it, and it just feels harsh. And this crystal does not play. So you can get you some black kyanite and keep that with you. You can put it by your night table. You can put a piece in your car. If you work in an office, you can put some in your drawer, and just know that you are protected. Okay, know that you're protected. This has very, very protective energy. So yeah, also I'm going to include a link up here to that's for a protection spell jar for children, but you can use the same method for creating the spell jar and just change the intention for you, okay, for your protective energy, instead of for children. Or if you need to protect your children as well, you can put everybody on the petition when you create the spell jar. But that's a great thing to keep by you, or if you have an altar, keep it on your altar, and to just set a tea light on that and renew it every single day is extremely powerful. So I hope these methods are helpful, but just know that you are greater than anything that they are trying to throw at you, and you don't need to focus on their craziness, okay? The next question is from Light. I love your name. All right, so she says, I'm married, but I feel that I found my twin flame. I truly need some advice. And then she says, I'm thinking of resigning from my current job. Should I? Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind, I had already pulled some cards as soon as I read your message because things were just coming through. It felt really strong. So I was like, let me pull some cards. So I've laid out a couple more for the job question as well. But as far as love is concerned, it looks like what you're feeling with this person that you've met, that you feel is your twin flame. First of all, the reason why you feel that way is because you do have a past life connection. You have a past life connection to both your lover or the person that you've met, as well as your husband, your partner, okay? So there are karmic patterns that are playing out in both relationships, which is why everything feels so tense and so like every decision that you're making about love feels difficult. I understand that. I'm getting that, okay? The cards that you got for the person that you've met is, which I'm going to call your lover, is Ace of Cups, Eight of Wands, and Ten of Swords. So, Ten of Swords is how it's progressing. Like if we could take a snapshot 5 to 10 years down the road with this person, that's Ten of Swords energy. And that's not what you want. But the reason why it's headed towards Ten of Swords is because there's something that this person has awakened within you that was already in you. The point is that it comes back to your identity within yourself, your own sense of sensuality and excitement and joy. This person has been sort of like a rocket ship to that place where you feel happy with yourself. But even though the ride there has been quick, where when you're with this person, it just feels magical. It feels so strong. It feels like, oh my God, that quick trip, there is a price to pay for that. Because when you don't go through the necessary steps to get that to that place of happiness with yourself, when you get there, it just feels like there's something missing because you didn't go through the necessary steps of healing to get there. You connected with a person that made you feel passionate, made you aware of all these things that are within yourself, but it's still your job to figure out how to tap into those frequencies without their help, okay? Because you want to do that from within. With this Eight of Wands, I see that there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of messages going back and forth. I don't know how much time you've spent together, but I feel like there's a lot of communication between you. And so it feels very passionate, okay? So I feel like it's intoxicating, it's overwhelming, and karmic relationships do feel like that. But I feel like there's also some karmic energy between you and your husband as well. Now, the way that you guys show up is he's King of Cups, you're Queen of Cups. So I feel like there has been a lot of time that you've spent together, because I feel like this is a mature relationship as far as like the number of years you've spent together. I do feel like there's a lot of pain that has happened. I feel like there's a lot of drama that's taken place between you guys. It's occurred between you guys. I feel like there's a lot of hurt and pain and grief, sorrow and sadness that you have felt in this relationship. And so for love cards, you've got shadow work and power couple. So I feel like there's a lot of work that needs to be done, both on an individual level between you and your married partner, and as a couple together. But the really beautiful thing about your connection with them is that the work that you do on an individual level is going to lead you to that place of feeling like a power couple where you are strong. This is after a lot of healing work though, because I do see that there has been a lot of like a big feeling of like disconnect. I feel like there's been a disconnect between the two of you where you haven't felt like you're on the same wavelength. The love card that you get for the lover is blocked from love. So whereas the healing work that you do for yourself and that your partner does for himself within your marriage, that's going to pay dividends, okay? It won't always feel easy on that road, but you know, sometimes it's more beneficial to take the way that isn't as easy, you know, but that's up to you. That's your choice. But with the combination of this Ten of Swords and the blocked from love card, with that blocked from love, I feel like there is going to be, as you grow spiritually and in every way that you are intending to grow, as you manifest all of your miracles and you stay on your path, there's going to feel like a disconnect between you and your lover, the person that you've met. At some point, there's going to be a breakdown because the overriding energy between the two of you is karmic. So even though you are technically soulmates, you're not gelling together in the long run. Now, right now, there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of ooh, but it's also because they're a distraction from your day-to-day situations. And we like distractions. Humans like to be distracted when we are feeling sort of bogged down, okay? So that's something to think about, okay? It looks like there's more of a benefit in the long run with your married relationship, okay? But I do understand that draw, that pull that you're feeling now with the karmic connection. Just know that those never really turn out the way that we want them to. And so we end up paying the price at some point, okay? All right, so for your job, you were considering leaving your job, and Divine is saying that if you do, you have Page of Pentacles and High Priestess. So it's like, I feel like you have that feeling of, I want to do it, but I just don't know if, like there's this fear, right? With Page of Pentacles, there's a start of something new. It's a new project that you would be working on, and also you would be flowing in spirit. I feel like this is the way of your soul. But what you may be concerned about, of course, is all the physical things, those practical day-to-day decisions and costs that we have. You have, for if you leave the job, I do see you working with that laborer card. I feel like you're going to end up doing something that maybe you don't want to do, but you're doing it to make ends meet. But it will be sort of like for the greater good. So you might find yourself doing some odd jobs or some things here and there that you didn't necessarily plan on doing, but you're doing it to make ends meet. You would be doing that to work hard in silence. And so you would be really dedicating your time and energy to things that are precious to you, okay? And then you've also got charity. So I feel like there's going to be, if you decide to resign from your job, I feel like there's going to be more of a focus on things that don't necessarily pay for the vacations and the luxuries that we want, but it's going to feel good to your soul because that's in alignment with that High Priestess energy. If you stay on your job, you're more in that magician energy where you're like manifesting. You want to manifest practicality and money and make sure that you have that security that you want. And also you've got Seven of Pentacles. So there I see you looking over your progress and sort of looking at where you are, there could be some dissatisfaction there. There could be a sense of, well, I'm tired of waiting to do the things that really matter to me, okay? But I feel like, and it's kind of interesting because that's how it is with love for you right now also, where you are presented with an opportunity to just tap into the physical and what feels good right now and what sort of soothes you at this time, but it might not pay off in the long run, versus something that, like with your marriage, where you're both having to work, but you can work together to have a great relationship. It's like that with your work as well, where you can stay on the job and have a certain level of security and knowing that it's fine with checking the boxes for the finances, but there's something else that you really want to do. And yeah, so I hope that brings some clarity. And yeah, I hope that this was helpful to you and then it brought some enlightenment for you. And thanks so much for your question. All right, so the next question is from ST. Thank you so much, ST, for your question that you emailed to me. So you said that you recently sold your home and you are considering moving to the New England area. You have been thinking about New Jersey or New York. So I pulled questions on both areas just to see and compare like what looks best for you as far as it aligns with your soul's true path and purpose. So for New Jersey, you've got, and I'm just going to tell you first, like up front, they both look like good options. But the benefits feel a little bit different, okay? So for New Jersey, you've got 10 of Pentacles, which is stability in your home and in your finances. With 6 of Cups, you've got, there's something that it feels like it's going to be reminiscent. It's going to feel like home. It might remind you of an area that you grew up in or something about your childhood. But there's something about where you would live in New Jersey that would feel very reminiscent. So as you're searching for homes, I recommend looking at areas that sort of remind you of what feels good to you, what feels grounding, what feels like home, what type of area feels just very, very good to you and perhaps reminds you of something in your from your childhood. You've also got Queen of Wands, so I feel like there's going to be new inspiration that comes to you. This could be for creative endeavor or for business or something that you've wanted to get moving with that you just felt like you didn't have the motivation or you didn't have the sort of go get it type of attitude that you really felt like you needed. You're going to have that inspiration and that drive to move forward. You're going to be inspired. For New York, you've got King of Cups, Page of Cups, and Hanged Man. So I feel like there's definitely romantic energy in New York. And I don't know what your status is right now, but it looks like there may be like two different loves that it's like playing out, okay, in New York. The King of Cups is very mature and stable, and the Page of Cups, what I'm getting there is like there's an energy of like somebody that sweeps you off your feet and just makes you feel like you're sort of head in the clouds, you know? So I feel like there's love energy that awaits you in New York, but I feel like it could feel a little bit overwhelming to you, or it could be something that you might find yourself avoiding with this Hanged Man. I see you just kind of like not really taking advantage of either of those because you may want to focus on what is inspiring you, something with a creative endeavor. you might not want to focus on that. So that might be why you're sort of in that hanged man state there. That hanged man could also be where you're just kind of taking your time and you don't feel rushed for anything. You're just enjoying your own abundance and prosperity. And that's exactly what I see here with this Queen of Pentacles, because you're just sort of nurturing yourself and letting all of the blessings flow in, and you're really not bothered. You're just kind of like, I'm doing me. So I love that with that Queen of Pentacles. But both locations look very good. It's just that they're definitely different vibes that you're going to experience, whether you go with New Jersey or New York. But I see abundance and stability with both, just different adventures and different prospects, okay? So I hope this was helpful, and thank you so much for your question and for supporting my channel. Thank you. This question is from Ariel. Thank you, Ariel, for your question. So you just wanted some messages to flow through. So you've got the moon. Take note of intuitive messages. I feel like there is such a strong connection that you have psychically, and you might overlook that sometimes, or you might psych yourself out of really thinking that you are truly gifted and psychic, but you are. And so Divine is saying to really take note of every single thing that is magical, every single experience that you have spiritually that is just confirming your gifts and your abilities. You have so many talents, and Divine is saying to just understand that those talents are representative of the light that shines through you. Your talents are how you give that energy to the world, how you share it. But it starts within you. It's so deep within you, and embrace it. And there's no need to doubt it, okay? There's no need to doubt your psychic gifts and your abilities. And I'm going to pull a situation path outcome for you. All right, and I got one extra. And this is from the Archangel deck, because I wanted to pull from that for you, because it has the Ariel suit in there for Pentacles. Okay, so you've got 7 of Wands, 7 of Gabriel, with 8 of Michael. So I feel like there's, you may have experienced some opposition with someone. You felt like you had to protect yourself from their energy. And Divine says, good on you for doing that, because you spotted out an issue. It was a problem, but it isn't a problem anymore because you handled it very well, and you don't have to doubt how you handled it. With that 8 of Michael, 8 of Swords, yeah, you can be free. So there's something that you may be allowing to sort of cloud your mind, as far as thinking that there's something that's a problem that's not. That's what's coming to me. Some worry. Feeling like there's something that you're not doing, but you're doing it. There's something that you may have feared you're not doing well enough, or you're not doing in the right way, but you're doing it well. You're doing it so beautifully, and your soul just wants you to give yourself credit for that, okay? You've also got, the High Priestess. Yeah, so that is coming through again, just to confirm that Moon card. It's like you are so intuitive. You are so gifted. And so the High Priestess is coming through to confirm for you that divine feminine energy within you, where you're delving into the subconscious and you're connecting with the collective. It can feel overwhelming sometimes, but Allow yourself to rest and to recharge so that you are protecting your own energy. Okay, because a lot of times you want to give and to help others, but there are so many times where you'll need to pause and bring the emphasis back to your own energy and be mindful within your own self and check in with how you're doing. What self-care do you need? How much rest do you need? Just rest. And Spirit is saying not to feel like you have to plan everything out. When you're tired, rest. When you're inspired, work, create. Okay, so listen to yourself because you know what to do. And then you've got 4 of Gabriel, 4 of Wands. So there is reason for celebration. And you may not feel that at this time, but it's coming. Your celebration. I see this also as a very deep partnership, a very deep union with a lover, but also with life itself. Okay, so it's on multiple levels, not just romantically, but also with your creative talents, with your gifts. You're going to have lots of reasons to celebrate. So get ready. Yeah, and Divine is saying to enjoy the way there, like enjoy every step. Because here you see the celebration, but there's reason to celebrate right now before you even get to that point where it's like, you know, we popping bottles or whatever we're doing to celebrate. Even before you get to that point, it's time to celebrate within you. And then there will be reason for big celebration. Okay? All right, Ariel, I hope that was helpful. And thank you so much for your question. Okay, so the next question is from Ray. Thank you, Ray, for your question. You wanted to know advice for your spiritual path. So I'm going to pull a couple cards for you to see. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right, we got a couple. All right, you've got Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. So Divine is saying to trust yourself. And I feel like you definitely have psychic awareness, you have gifts, but sometimes you're doubting your connection to spirit. Okay, but you're growing, and you're doing that through that hermit energy. There's no need to feel like you always have to make every or attend every party or go to every social event, or you don't have to feel like you're missing out on those things if you just feel like you need to stay home and study or meditate, or if you just want to curl up on the sofa and daydream. Like, that is your business. And all of those things that a lot of other people label as insignificant or like, oh, you're not doing anything. No, you are. It's that according to their standards, what you do or how you live your life may look different. But don't let them tell you, don't let them make you think, don't let anyone make you think that you're behind or that you are not doing what's useful and what's beautiful, because you're living according to your path, and that's truly authentic and beautiful. Okay, and you've also got Seer, so this is like major psychic awareness is coming through. I feel like you have the power of divination, you have the power to connect to spirit, whether it's through clairaudience or clairsentience, through your feelings, through hearing, clairaudience, claircognizance, just knowing. You know, you might not know how you know, but you just know. And some of these things, these experiences where you realize like, oh my gosh, I just connected to spirit, I can't believe that happened. It might freak you out sometimes, but don't let it, you know. I feel like it's a part of it is a good sense. It's like, oh wow, I'm different. That's something is going on here. I need to pay attention. But sometimes you might feel a little bit insecure, like there's something strange about you, and there absolutely isn't. All of the things that make you different are exactly what makes you beautiful. So yeah, to be different is to be beautiful. So accept that. Okay, accept that and just love on yourself and love on your gifts. Okay, I'm gonna lay a couple cards for you to just kind of get some clarification. All right, you've got the World. So I feel like something is coming to an end, but it was time. It was time for something to be over. So you're releasing it, but you may have a little bit of trouble letting go, or there may be some doubt as to, was it time? Did I do the right thing? Divine says there's no need to ask questions. It's time to move forward. There will come times from time to time where you want to reflect and just say, okay, what can I learn from that situation? But asking questions, putting pressure on yourself, making yourself think that you didn't handle something well, no. Okay, you don't need to spend time on that because you handled things beautifully. All right, you've got Two of Pentacles, so you're learning lessons in balance and how to nurture your energy and make sure that you also are a responsible human being, but you are letting go and being carefree as well, because that's what's important for you to maintain your happiness. You've got the Moon, so you're getting in touch with your psychic powers. I feel like you're learning rituals. Divine is saying to make sure that you do your rituals how they resonate with you. You don't have to do things sort of by the book or as other people say. Receive instruction that is good. You know, if it resonates with you, cool. But you can still do things in the way that resonates with you. That's what you should do, okay? You've got Eight of Ariel and Queen of Michael, so Queen of Swords. So I feel like there's some decisions that you're going to be making regarding work, and you have the power to do this. You are empowered. You are an empowered being, and don't forget that. Sometimes the decisions that we make, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're the most popular or we're the most well-liked person, but if it's going to lead to your happiness, stick with it. Okay, so yes, I hope that this was helpful to you, and thank you so much for your question. I almost forgot to tell you that when I first read your email and I saw the name Rey, immediately what came to me was the character Rey in The Rise of Skywalker Star Wars movie. And I watched it. It's amazing. It's beautiful. But watch it and see if there's anything that you connect with in that movie. I don't know if you've seen it already, but if you haven't, give it a try. And I love Star Wars because it's so spiritual, and it's of course all about energy and everything. It's beautiful, but I love her character, and when you watch it, you might see that there's some similarities between her path and your path as well. So yeah, that just came to me, like Ray of Light and the character's name Rey in Rise of Skywalker. So tune into that, see if there's anything that Spirit brings to you through that movie. And yeah, I hope these messages were helpful. Okay, so the next question was from Kat. Thank you, Kat, for your question. You wanted to know about money and love. So I'm going to pull for money first. Message for Kat. Thank you, Divine. What messages do you have? Ooh, you're going to like this. Okay, so you got two. And growth and goals. So with the goals that you have, you are going to notice growth. It is going to be something that happens over I feel like it's an extended period of time. It's longer than what you had hoped, but Divine is saying that the depth that you want to achieve, that you want to manifest, so that this is something stable, so that this is something that lasts. And it's not just something that where you're like earning a few bucks here and there. You want it to be grounded. So it's going to take additional time beyond what you thought. But the payoff is going to be so worth it. So Divine is saying to hang in there and to continue giving it your energy, giving your goals, the goals that you've been working on, that you've been manifesting, stay with them. Okay, I feel like you may have been discouraged about the outcome of something. But Divine is also saying that there is a new opportunity that is going to come to you. And what I'm getting with this Ace of Pentacles is that this is a new opportunity that's happening within some goals that you've already set. So it's not just going to be completely out of the blue and unrelated to you. It's something that is going to manifest as a result of the work and effort you've been putting into the goals that you've already had. But it's going to be a new opportunity with a situation that you've already had. So look for that. Okay, look for that and know that it is leading to your growth, because I feel like you're working and you're moving along, you're doing the things that you're supposed to do, and it's just about needing that encouragement and that motivation to continue, okay? And knowing that there will be fresh energy that comes about as a result of what you've been putting in with the goals that you've been working on, okay? There's going to be fresh opportunities that come to you. Let's pull some cards for love and see what comes through for that. All right. All right, you know what? I'm going to pull from my other deck to clarify. Clarify this long haul card. You got the long haul card. So there is I feel like this is a tenacious love that is going to stick around. It's not going to be here one day and gone the next. So you've got long haul. And what I'm getting there is tenacity. It's like, let's keep this going. Let's keep this moving. But you've also got 7 of Pentacles. So what I'm seeing there is like looking and seeing the prospects and seeing where you are. And it's just kind of like, where are we? Why are we here? When is this going to happen? But the reason why you're feeling like that is because you're manifesting something that is not just here for the now. This is a steadfast, stable love. And it's going to feel worth it. I feel like as soon as it manifests, it's going to feel like, oh, that's why it took so long. That's why it took this journey to get here. And things are going to click and make sense for you. Okay? So I hope that was helpful, and thank you so much for supporting my channel. Many blessings to you. The last question was from Bernadette, and you were wondering about spirituality and love and prosperity. So I'm just going to pull a couple cards and see what comes through. Let's see what oracle cards you get. This is from Miss Bernadette. All right, you've got Guardian Angel and High Priestess. So you are protected, and Divine wants you to know that. Also, you're connecting with your inner power. I feel like you have been in certain situations in the past. You've been giving your power away. This could be to a job. This could be to a lover. But you have been on a path of discovering the power within you. And so you're no longer feeling like you need to go here and go there and connect with this person and that person in order to connect with yourself. You're doing that straight away with your own energy, realizing your beauty, realizing your power, realizing the intuitive gifts that you have, and you're connecting with that so that you are moving forward in the best way. And as you do that, this is a message from Divine that you are protected. You are not alone. You might feel sometimes like just being by yourself and not really being bothered with other people and being, you know, at every single event and all of that. You're doing you, okay? Also for career and finances, the leadership card comes through. So you are going to have opportunities to, this one flipped. Oh, look at this, next level, be a boss. So I feel like there's some opportunities for not only growth but also leadership, and not just taking the back seat, but now becoming a teacher and a leader for other people to learn from, because you have so much to offer. I feel like whatever industry, whatever career path it is that you're in, whatever it is that you do, that you are passionate about and that you love, you know so much about it that you're able to help other people. So it's not just about you going along for the ride anymore. You're taking initiative and becoming a leader. Okay, I'm pulling a card for love. Let's see what comes through. Okay. All right, you've got healing love and fairy tale romance. Now, I am not a proponent of fairy tales, but I do know that what's coming through for this card is a very beautiful love. It's like the love that you want to manifest. It's coming to you. It just might not be coming at the time or at the pace that you expected, or it may not be coming through the particular partner that you expected. It may be someone that looks different or has a different vibe than what you initially anticipated, but it's beautiful, and it is a healing love. And it's the type of love that you can grow with and that you can really truly connect with on a deep level, and is not just superficial. Okay, it's very deep. Yeah, the reason why I'm not a proponent of fairy tales is because, you know, there is no perfect life, right? And that's what, especially as young women, a lot of us were programmed to believe that we were going to achieve that perfect life. And so when we don't, when things don't align perfectly, then we think that we've done something wrong, but that's not true. It's just life. But you are going to be in a position where you are receiving. Okay, I feel like you've been giving a lot. So that for you is the part of that card that's coming through. It's not necessarily a fairy tale, but it's that you're manifesting what you've wanted. And so you're going to be receiving love. It's going to be a very reciprocal love where you're both giving and receiving to one another and sharing and growing and connecting on a very deep level. Okay? So I hope that this was helpful. And thank you guys so much for tuning in and for your questions. I appreciate it. And yeah, I may do this again. I don't know, I may make it a monthly thing, or we'll see. I'm just gonna sort of see what spirit guides me to do, and yeah, we'll go from there. But thank you guys so much for participating. I wish you peace, joy, and many blessings. Take care.